Hello and welcome back to the Movie Attic. I'm Mike, and as I've said before, this is the Attic where I discuss and review movies, DVDs, Blu-Rays, and 4Ks for all the nice people out there in YouTube land. As you can probably tell from the beginning of this episode, it's a Halloween / horror topic, which is a good time of year for me when you have looks like this. It wasn't always this way, though. At one point in my life, I was a runway model until I got hit by the airplane. But enough of my backstory. Today's big movie is The Mad Monster Party from 1967 in color. Like with most of these movies, I didn't discover this movie until probably 10 or 15 years ago when I went to Walmart during this time of year and saw this on the shelf. And of course I saw Rankin and Bass, and of course the puppets, or whatever you would call them, the stop motion dolls. And I was astounded that I had not even heard of this movie or saw it as a kid, but maybe they didn't. I don't know if they showed it on TV in the 70s or 80s. So anyway, that's how I discovered the movie. And then I think it was last year, I'd seen that Umbrella was releasing this version of the movie, and I wasn't going to buy it. And then, as happens a lot with me, I watched a YouTube channel where somebody had showed it off with the nice slipcover, and then and underneath that, this, and there's the disc art. Plus, there's a little bit of almost like pencil drawing type artwork on the inside on top of that. But the thing that convinced me to get it was, of course, the slipcover artwork and the fact that it had two different versions of the movie, or cuts of the movie. One in a 1:851 aspect ratio, and then the other is the full screen 1:331. I believe the DVD only has the 1:331 aspect ratio. So I decided I was going to get it, and I did get it, of course, because there it is. Like I say, it's in color. It's from 1967. It's one of 3 movies that Rankin and Bass made as part of a deal they made. The other 2 are the wacky Stories of Mother Goose or something like that, and the other one is The Daydreamer, which I do have, which I'd got several years ago, probably at Walmart as well. Only watched that one once, and I don't remember anything about it, but that's not the movie I'm reviewing. So of course, this movie, The Mad Monster Party, follows, oh, by the way, it's 95 minutes long, so it's a full-length movie. Follows the story of Dr. Frankenstein, played by Boris Karloff. He's was working on one of his greatest inventions or discoveries, and he was going to retire, and he was going to name a successor to this organization of, I guess, monsters, which include like the Wolfman, Dracula, Dr. Jekyll, and the Mummy, and a bunch of other ones. Also, Phyllis Diller does a voice in this movie, which, if you know who Phyllis Diller is, after a while her voice can get a little bit annoying. But that's neither here nor there. So anyway, they're going to throw this big party of sorts. This Felix Plankton is Dr. Frankenstein's nephew. He's the one that Dr. Frankenstein's gonna name as his successor, unbeknownst to the rest of the monsters and Dr. Frankenstein's assistants and all that stuff. So then, once they find out that he's going to be named the successor, then of course they try to get rid of him by pairing up various combinations of monsters to try and take him out. Not on a date either. So one of the assistants is this, I don't even know what her name is, but anyway, she's got red hair, and she's probably the most well-endowed stop-motion puppet I've seen in any of these Rankin and Bass movies and shows. So anyway, she ends up falling in love with him eventually towards the end of the movie. And her and the Phyllis Diller character get into what we used to call in the old days a catfight. So I don't know if this movie is completely for like little kids. So anyway, they get into this catfight, and each one of them rips off portions of their clothing, and there's even cat sounds that ensue after they start getting in this catfight. So that was one of the weirder parts of the movie, especially thinking that this is for kids and stuff like that. I enjoyed the movie. There was some dumb humor. If you know me, I scream dumb humor, as you probably already guessed by now if you've watched the channel at all. And if you haven't, well then, kudos to you for being smarter than the average bear. So it's got a 2.0 mono, which I don't think I mentioned, which you would expect from something from 67. The film quality itself isn't what I would call stellar. I mean, it's good. I don't know if it's the best we've ever seen, but you can see specs and stuff. Now, some scenes are better than others, obviously, and some scenes are worse than others. But overall, it didn't take me out of the movie or anything, and I thought the overall quality of it was pretty good. So if you like Rankin and Bass stuff, which I have some of their other movies behind me, of course they're known for their Christmas specials and all that stuff, then this is probably something you might want. I don't know if this slipcover edition's still available at all. But I'm sure I know there's another Blu-ray version of it out there, but I don't know if it has both of the aspect ratios. This one, which I don't think I showed the back, this one of course comes with a bunch of special features. And it's even got an intro by the Rankin and Bass historian guy. Don't remember what his name is. And it was a nice intro and gave you some information. Like I said, it told you about this was part of a 3-movie deal with some company, and I guess it aired in theaters in 67, 68, and 69 during like children's matinees, so obviously it must have been for children despite the cat fight in the middle of it. Of course, Boris Karloff is excellent. Voiceover work, of course. I will say the guy that did the voice for Felix Flankton, though, to me, and of course I could be wrong about all this stuff, I'm just here as, the guy, the face of the attic, so to speak. The guy that does the voice for Felix Flankton, he had kind of almost like a Jimmy Stewart, maybe younger Jimmy Stewart voice going for him. So if you like Jimmy Stewart, it wasn't a real good impression, at least not in my book, but oh well. So there you go, there's my Jimmy Stewart impression. Take that for what it's worth. So anyway, I did enjoy the movie. If I was going to rate this movie, that's why we're here, I guess. Although these ratings really don't mean anything, because if you like them, then they could be a 10. If you don't like them, they could be a 1. But I would give it a solid 7. And, because of the packaging and all that, plus the 2 different aspect ratios and the pile of bonus features and all that stuff. So there you have it. Like always, if you have this version or you've seen the Mad Monster Party, oh, and I almost forgot too, there's a lot of singing in this movie as well. That's what they're known for, obviously. But anyway, yeah, if you have this version, seen this movie, or just like Rankin and Bass movies, the stop motion ones, in general, leave a comment down in the comments section. Of course, I'd love to discuss it, and if there's any questions on any of this stuff, as always, too, if I know the answer, I'll, answer whatever questions I can about the movie. So, until next time, I'm in the attic with a completely different movie, probably a Halloween or a horror movie. Gotta try to get as many as I can in before this month's over. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, see you next time, and thanks.